Hey everybody, welcome to another Watch Talk Live. John the Phone Guy here, and really excited for another show. It's going to be another awesome Invicta family member and friends, and this one's going to be a fun one. And just, I hate to kind of, bring us down a little bit in the beginning, and I've sent some cancellations to a few of you, and I will reach out to each of you independently. When I had put the schedule together at the end of April into May, I did not have my back surgery scheduled. Usually my surgeon was 2-3 months out, so that was my expectation. But with my surgery being the 23rd, I'm going to have to reschedule everyone that was on the week of the 25th and the first week of May. And I just want to say I will be contacting everyone individually and going over schedules, and obviously anyone affected will be getting first dibs on any show times afterwards. But enough of that, and don't want to be a Debbie Downer right now, but I'm hoping that the surgery works out well and I'll be in good spirits and feeling better. So that's the positive. But with that, I got some folks in the green room, and it's going to be a great show. And without too much ado, let me bring in Tony Woe and Simplay. Hey y'all.
Family. Hey, you. What's going on, bro?
Doing good. So how y'all?
Man, feeling like $1,000,000.
There you go.
Happy to be breathing and living, with all this stuff going on out here. Cannot complain, not one bit. Well, I could.
You could, but don't do it.
It could, but what good does it do, right? I mean,
exactly.
It's just noise at that point. But yeah, no, I mean, really appreciate the both of you coming on. This one's going to be fun, and with everyone else, it's been a blast. But with too much, I do want to go and start this off with some of the things that I generally do with everyone, and that is talking about some of the things that are important to both of y'all, and that would be, so this is Mr. Tony's YouTube page. So for anybody out there, we're in YouTube land. So if you're interested in a inspirational, well, you can see rapper, poet, wellness coach, all of that, Christian based and all that sort of stuff, check him out. Got some really inspirational music and conversations. So that's his YouTube page. And with that, I am going to, where am I at? Okay. I'm going to get them all. I'm going to get them all. 1 second. So now we got Tony's page. If I get it up here. There we go. So I always do this because I know, especially with Instagram, Facebook, there's so many scam pages out there. So that everyone really knows what to look for, and all that sort of stuff, because, it gets a little goofy out there.
That's true.
Much appreciated. You're right on that one.
Knock on wood. I haven't had that happen yet, but just because you never know what's going to happen. So with and I got one more. I got your Facebook page.
FB.
All right. And there we got the both of you. Now, Simplay, do you have individuals also on those formats all the way through?
So I do, and pretty much if you find Tony, you found Simplay. We're joined at the hip, but
yeah,
it is harder to find me because when you put in simple, you get a lot of different things. So I added, you might get me because I'm a little simple sometimes, but simple saying is one thing. So my Instagram is simple saying. Simple underscore sayings. Mm-hmm. And SAYIN, no G.
Yeah, I got you. So 1 second. So we'll get. All right. Let's see. Go here. I'm trying to get faster at doing this.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
All good, bro. All good.
So we got YouTube. Insta. So that's Insta.
Yes, Vic. That is the correct page. That's not the scam page. That is me. Someone sliding into your DMs.
Yeah.
Just get that in there. He was wondering who that was. And
YouTube is simple saying 2.
YouTube simple saying 2. No underscore.
Boy, if I it would really help if I could spell. Underscore. That's what
no underscore on YouTube.
Yeah, no underscore on the YouTube.
Oh, so it's all one shot.
Yeah, simple saying in the number 2.
Yeah.
I think I've got it, but we'll find out here in a second. So you tell me if I got it right. I think I got it right. All right. Did I get it right?
Put a number 2 on
Put a number 2 and then.
Oh, number 2.
Yeah, I had to reinvent myself. So this is Simply 2.0.
Yeah, and take out the. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now
so
we
that's how you find me. Same MO.
yeah. Yeah.
Music, poetry, wellness coaching, Arthur.
I don't get copyrighted.
You
You gotta be quick these days. You gotta be quick.
gotta be quick. You're right.
You're right. Oh my gosh.
All right. So that's the two of y'all, and I know that as the whole group kind of thing happened, that we met you through trap and all of that, and you used to be Army, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You're right.
I hate getting the branches wrong because it's a that's a touchy subject with most of us. You get the branch wrong. It's like you can get the job wrong, but don't get the branch wrong.
You know what? We all serve the same God in the same country. So hey,
took that same oath.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but yeah. So so I know that you guys are big into Herbalife and a fitness thing. Yeah, wellness coaches and all of that, and Smitten is a part of the Simplay squad or
in the family.
Yeah. So and I mean a lot of I hate using the corny saying about it all started with, but there really is something. See, I didn't finish it. See, I don't want to get a copyright hit on me from from my buddy over there. But I mean, there really is something to be said about how much all of this family and camaraderie and all of the ability for us to meet each other in a way and in a time that would never happen otherwise.
Right.
And I mean, there's you just can't. I mean, and I'm I can't put into words what all of that has meant for all of us. I think. I mean, and to be able to sit down and and have conversations and DMs and phone calls and all the things that we do,
right?
Because I mean, I love my family and and all of that, and family is something that will always be there. Blood is blood, and and I have to say, even in the Invicta family, it's not perfect, because we're not perfect, and so it is what it is. But it's so unique. I mean, I won't say it's like a military brotherhood, because that really is something that just it can't. There's almost nothing that can parallel because of what all goes on with it. But it really is a big part of what all of this is for us. So let me poll something here, because I keep going back and forth. Is it easier in this format or that format? I think that format is a little wider, but you just don't see. I don't know. Y'all tell me.
I like the one you had before. Yeah. Right before that.
This one.
It makes us look closer.
Oh. There you go.
We need some distance after all of this pandemic living
in the house for it's been over a year.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because we've talked about that, because I mean my job, doing what I do, I sit on a computer and I type and look at screens and everything, and I mean, originally, I had my office. My office is downstairs, and Christy was right next to me, with her desk and setup. And when all this kicked off, like literally, we got off the ship last March, and I think I went into the office one day. It was like the 6th or 7th, and then everything started popping, and then. I think in a year I've been in the office 5 times. 4 of them are like after hours. Like I'll go in to do like after hour maintenance or something like that. Right. And with Christy's job, so we moved all of her stuff up here, to the AKA studio, recording, exercise, office, side storage,
Yeah.
craft room,
Oh yeah.
watch size, the whole shooting match. So, because she's on the phone a lot, doing her job, and I'm on the phone intermittently, or I'm on conference calls all the time.
Intermittently.
Yeah. We are intermittently connected.
Yeah, that's why. And our studio / guest room / grandbaby's visitation room / storage. Like, we appreciate the zoom in shot, because if you pull back any further, the whole house is around us. The work.
I mean, when I pull the shot in, of course I don't get the mug and I don't get Grogu, but it's all right.
Grogu. That's it.
I definitely wouldn't want to take the camera and start spinning it around, because then the magic is lost.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Don't look behind the green curtain.
No, let's not do that. Yeah. It's like the Wizard of Oz. The wizard behind the curtain shall stay nameless.
Exactly.
So without too much, I know you guys are, Invicta collectors, and both of you do. And generally I started off with who or what got you interested in watches, either from not necessarily Invicta, but like I got interested because I like tearing stuff apart. So I tore apart some clocks and things like that. Just kind of worked my way up, and different people have had, a wife get them, or a grandfather, or, a parent, or, things like that you just kind of, and I think, it really, and with doing a few of these shows, it's interesting as the age groups move, the delineation of where watch wearing has come in. Like, I mean, at my age, that was, you wore a watch. I remember literally in class, in kindergarten, first grade,
Elementary,
and, being able, little hand, big hand, and all that sort of stuff, and cursive writing, and it's funny how far things change.
It is. You're right. I think that's something that Tony started us doing with our grandkids. We didn't just want to get them their first Invicta. We wanted to get them an Invicta with purpose, and I appreciate how Invicta does have the training clocks, the training watches, I'm sorry. And they do have the hour hands, and the hands look like hands, and they come in the big numbers, and in the interesting characters. The
Spider-Man.
We had Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. You got the Mickeys and Minnie and all of that. Yeah.
The 6-year-old did go for a more advanced watch, because he really wanted something like T-Paw's collection. So he got, his first was the military strap.
Yeah, he got the coalition forces.
The coalition forces
with the changeable straps.
He went all in. He was all in.
He said, "I want to watch T-Paw. I don't know what this Spider-Man."
He's like, "I know my number."
Don't play me with this little stuff. I'm serious out here.
Exactly. But it's funny, when even the younger one, we got him the Spider-Man watch, and he went to, I think my daughter took him to Chuck E. Cheese, and he was like, "Oh no." He took his watch off and laid it on the table so he could play the game. And my daughter was like, "You can't just lay that around." And she picked it up. He was like, No. He took it back and put it in his pocket, because it's like, I don't want it hurt.
Right. Yeah.
He knows the value. He knows what's going on. Only 3 years old. Well, you'll be 4 this year. So, hey.
Yeah. Start them young.
Yeah, you got to start them young, Check the crown in, got the strap on right,
Check the date.
Yeah. That's kind of how Tony was with his first Invicta too. It took him back to, being a kid again, just to open that box for the first time.
Oh yeah. Well, my very first watch that I actually claimed as like my first watch that I loved was in the early 80s, when Transformers did a watch, and it had, the little guy transforms, and I loved that watch. And right after that one, I got I don't know if you remember the old Casios with the calculator.
Yeah.
One there, got that one too. And it's like, watching my father with his watches, my grandfather with his watches, I felt like I'm a man now. I got to check.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
let me check my watch.
Yeah.
So I've always had a love affair. Couldn't afford a lot of the ones that I liked coming up. And I really, was looking at, fossils and Rolexes and just all these different things. Yeah. And then I met Trap at church.
Okay.
It was funny because he was making fun of me, saying I look like Fred Hammond, the gospel singer. And so I'm like, yeah, man, this guy's not going to get along so good. I'm not really feeling him, but I know he was just playing. And what caught my attention was he had this giant watch on his wrist. And I'm like, yes, I love big watches. And I always said, I couldn't afford them. So when he told me the price points and we started going back and forth, I'm like, man, I got to get me one of these watches. But being a man with a wife and 6 kids, and we were also doing ministry with our music. So there was a lot of free things going on, a lot of events and things like that. Plus the ones we were getting paid for, was paying bills. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to get an Invicta anytime soon. And then, him and DC wanted to renew their vows. And out of the blue came to us and asked us to be the best man and maid of honor when they renewed their vows.
Wow.
Which was bridesmaid.
Bridesmaid. I'm sorry. Yeah. But,
what's up, Michelle? I ain't trying to take your spot. I'll be number 2 or 3. But
yeah. So caught us off guard. But we had built a relationship. We've been in the trenches with each other. We've been praying through some of our hardest times with them, and praying through some of their hardest times, and helping each other and serving each other. We helped them build the house that they have now, and just they've helped us, go on tour and help build studio and just everything. So when that time came, I'm standing there in my tux and I'm looking, like $1 million, except for I was like 60 something pounds heavier. And he asked me, a couple of weeks before what my favorite color was. And I'm like, well, at that time red is probably the thing I like, most. And he's like, okay, cool. Remember when I asked you that question? I'm like, yeah. And he brings out this box, man. And I'm like, oh. It says, if you open it up, it's a beautiful silver Pro Diver with the red face and the red bezel. And it was gorgeous. And I'm like, that is, I showed that thing off, kind of like how brides show off their engagement ring. I'm like, yeah, what time is it? What time? You're doing dance moves and everything, showing off their watch, man. I mean, it was one of the dopest watches I had. And I still didn't think about collecting because I knew, as far as ministry and things, and we were moving to Florida, so like just something we're not going to be able to do. And next thing you know, they're coming. Our first year down in Florida, they came to visit because they were going on the first cruise.
Okay.
We didn't know why they were coming. We were just happy they were coming.
Right. And so not to jump too much, but so you guys were originally from the Indiana area, Indianapolis?
Yes.
Correct.
And then 2017, 2018, you moved to Florida?
Yeah.
2017, yep.
Okay. So what kind of took you down to Florida other than, a little bit nicer weather? Not by a lot, but, just a smidge.
30 degrees better.
No snow.
Yes. Closer to the equator,
Trying to get close to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, this. I had a job opportunity that made me an offer I couldn't refuse. And it was bittersweet because for years of trying to convince Tamika and Trap to move to the east side of Indiana, East Indianapolis, they finally did it. built the house and everything, and then I got this job offer, and I had to. We were literally down the street from one another. Now we're 3,000 miles. Yeah. We're one direct flight away. So yeah,
Right.
that's what pulled us down. Otherwise, we would have been content to to survive our summers there. So it's okay. But you know, like you said, the family, even through this pandemic, as you can see, you know, part of what these opportunities give us with these lives and the Zoom groups and things like that, just to reconnect and stay connected.
Yeah.
It has been so valuable to nurture those relationships, because when we get back on another cruise, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Carnival needs to they need to get ready. Like it's gonna go from probably the day / night before, wherever we all meet, to we're gonna be all over each other at the port, on the gangplank,
Right.
on let's see, what is it, the piano bar on 4, up to Lido, back to the back, over by the pool. Yeah.
They're gonna be like, please keep coming. No, don't stand still. Stop hugging each other. Please come forward.
You're right. They're gonna have to keep us, hurt us like cats.
They're gonna have hug security.
Yeah, hug zone and a timer. They're gonna have to have a big Invicta clock with a timer that says, you know, you can congregate, then you got to move to the next. Keep it moving. You can only stay
with hand sanitizer misters.
Yes.
Just misting hand sanitizer.
So Godfather's asking, was 2020 your first one?
No, that was the second one. We went to 2019.
Okay, so you were 19. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that I had actually bought another. I bought a boat, black and gold boat. Mm-hmm. So we got on the boat with two Invicta watches, and that was our first experience, which was so wonderful because, you know, I figured that, like, you know, as far as I know, like the different watch crowds, you know, if you only have one watch, they treat you kind of, you know, like, you're still a youngster, sit down, you know.
Yeah.
But people would ask me, hey, how many you got? And I'm like, 2. And they're like, oh, what do you have? I'm like, I got a pro diver, I got a boat. And I show them, oh man, that was my first one. Everybody made us feel so welcome.
Yeah. Yes. I didn't have any.
She didn't even, didn't even have to watch at that time.
I mean, that was our 2018. I got on the ship, and I think I had about 8. I was at 18 or 20, roughly. And Christy had her Apple Watch. What was it, a 1 or a 2? Yeah. And that was it. I mean, and she's like, you know, you know, she likes to go on a cruise and thought it'd be fun, and so she did it for me and everything. And literally, it was, you know, I mean, we kind of, you know, we kind of stood in the back a little bit and just kind of watched things going on and everything. But yeah, I mean, everybody was just so nice, and you know, it was just an amazing experience. And then 2019, you know, was our second, and we really got a lot more involved that time. So we did the expo in 19, and so we did a joint one. You know, we kind of had all of ours hodgepodge. I mean, you know, it was what it was. But
yeah,
you were there.
We were at the expo, and that was probably the thing that really started kicking things off for us, was being able to just have so many people come by and just, you know, introduce themselves. Hey, how are you? And all of that. And just to get to know each other. And, you know, and it was just, you know, it was just a lot of fun in 2020. You know, I mean, you know, we saw y'all, you know, it's funny because, you know, when I was talking with D and Q, and, you know, like what was that ship? 2,500? Something like that.
Oh.
And it was you know, because it was sunrise, it was bigger, and like I would estimate at least 10 times a day we'd be like, oh hey, you know, hours. You're like, oh, hey, it was like, you feel like you're stalking everybody because you run into the same people. I'm like, how in this big, huge boat?
Because they're all friends and family.
Yeah.
All friends and family. And that was my first ever cruise. I don't like boats. Open water. And I don't like crowds. I love people. I don't like crowds at all.
Thank you, DC.
And
getting her on the boat.
We only came at their at Tamika's request because I wasn't doing it. And but from the moment, like you said, from the moment we got to the gangway, and through security, of course, I was received. It was almost like there was friendar, like the radar of people to just welcome you in.
Yeah.
And from that moment all the way up the ramp, when we had to like single file up, and people struck up conversations. Made sure that like everybody had one tip that they wanted to share. Oh, go to this night. Oh, go ahead and change. Oh, people were giving us tips even in the security. When you have to do the security.
When you go through the conveyor belt and all that stuff.
No, when you have to listen to the safety presentation.
Muster.
Muster. So even in the muster, the people on the left, right, and behind us, and it wasn't like, here's my pet peeve, know-it-alls. When you're a first timer doing anything, you want tips, but you don't want someone to
mansplain everything.
Mansplain whatever. Just, you don't want to know it all, just dumping their whole experience on you and trying to make it your. I didn't get any of that. And I knew right then I was going to be okay. Until the boat started moving.
So everybody know it took a lot to get Simple on this boat. Praise God she did.
Yes.
She had so much fun on the first one that we got back to Florida and got to an Invicta shop, and she was like, I want a graffiti. She found her graffiti straight out, and I thought I would just be the only collector, but no. And we started collecting together and trying to, match up and have things, close to matching in some cases and exact matches in other cases. So, and, I always said, like, anything that Trap and DC's doing, I'm just gonna be down anyway. So all this was just like a bonus, man. It was just to be able to meet so many people, and like she said, they had friendar. They were people were looking for people to talk to.
Like if you came on looking like it was your first time or whatever, it was like you were like friend prey, like, oh, there's somebody lost, I got to go talk to them.
Yes. And then the host were doing the same thing. There was so much love from Jay-Z, from Justin, and Kendi was just so kind.
And their spouses, like Joe and and Merritt and all of them. I mean, they're so nice and so. And I know I've talked to a few people on here, and it's like I was so surprised how easy it was, and people were, very outgoing and not standoffish or stuffy or anything. And that is absolutely true. And I remember when Dickerson was on, he was talking about, I saw that guy, but I was kind of afraid to talk to him. Like, no, don't. I mean, now as far as the know-it-alls, I'm glad that you didn't get to me too soon. So hopefully I didn't know it all you, because I've been known.
No,
I've been known to talk a bit much.
No, it's okay. And it's interesting to hear you say that you stood in the back the first year, because the John that we met in 2019 is not a person that you would say stands in the back, but also is not a person who pounces on. Like, meeting you and Christy was like another friend, an expansion of what we had already started experiencing person by person by person. And I didn't get that at all. When we it was, I don't know if it was a spirit thing, if it was just, you know, a kindredness, but we instantly just felt at ease. And it was like we wanted to, like, for some, you know, some people will, you know, let's say even the way we saw your collection, it was like when you share your collection, there's people, and there are some collectors on there that just want to put it all out there, like see everything I have. But then when you look at you and Smitten's collection, and you think about even the pieces that you could be sharing, you're not sharing everything necessarily. But when you share your collection, I feel like you're sharing us you. You know, like when I see what's
and
yeah.
2020 was absolutely, which is why, you know, we drove because I would never be able to get it there. We looked like vagabonds rolling up that gangplank with so much crap, and you know, and I mean, we spent. I mean, I know, I spent 2 months or better, you know, making all the stuff, and Christy was like going to like, what's that store? Hobby Lobby and all these places, finding things. Oh, I really, you know. So yeah, I mean, it really was a lot of that, and yeah, I mean, there was a lot of pieces that I didn't bring, and because I remember when I did it at 19, I just had a smattering of stuff, and I was just like, it really didn't, and I was like, I want to tell more of a picture, so it was like very much like, you know, everyone kind of knew, you know, I like Punishers, so you know, Punishers were a big piece, but I love the heritage, and then I had Blue Label, and then I had something else, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, some graffitis. But I mean, it really is, you know, kind of seeing, you know, seeing someone how they collect, and you know, seeing what pieces kind of tells you, you know, a little bit about, you know, how flashy or not they want to be, or you know, they like the more subdued, and you know, the smaller reserved, and all of that. It really, and going back to the like, so 2018 we went on the cruise, you know, and we went to the expo, and it was so funny because Christy was walking around and looking at stuff, and you know, primarily, you know, it's guys, right? So we go around this corner, and it was this couple, Eric and Marie, and Eric and Marie, when you see this, or you know, they were literally scheduled for the week. I think it was like the Wednesday after my surgery, and I've had to send out cancellation with notes, but I'll get back to everybody. So that was like the first, you know, I mean, you know, we saw, you know, Big John Sandy and all of that, and then we, you know, saw Eric and Marie, and you know, Chrissy's, you know, she really had a lot of the style, sizes, and things that Christy liked, so she got interested. We got talking, and you know, that was that conversation, and seeing and talking to somebody and everything was what really kind of got her energized. And I'll never forget, because I mean, I was a bit geeking out, so I literally had a little sling back, and I had my sizing kit like with me on the ship. Oh yeah, and I brought it with me. And I remember Eric, because that was the year that, you know, there was a couple watches on. It was the first year, so they sold like 4 watches on the ship that were limited for the cruise. I was like the Ocean Voyage. They were like 100 of each. And he had bought, I think it was the Venom, the same one I had gotten. And he was like, he was sitting there and he was looking at it. I said, man, he said, I wish I'd have brought my sizing kit. I really want to put this on. I was like, well, I've got mine in my room because I'd taken it off. I was like, really? I said, yeah, I'll go get it. So I was like, so I left Christy and I went back up to the room, got it, and sat down, and he opened it up. And I mean, it was just, but I mean, that whole vibe was just so much about just, I mean, it you know, it didn't even faze me to think about, you know, having someone, you know, use your tools or whatever. And it was just so, it was just so great. And it was just so much fun. And, but I mean, that's really what this is, you know, to me, that's what this whole Invicta family is all about, is just that simple act of, you know, sharing that or things like that. and Godfather's got a question: which watch do you consider to be your Grail, and does not have to be a diamond piece? Which I totally agree.
Yes.
Godfather, Grails are defined by something that, for me, is either an emotional or a hunted, piece that either you've held onto your money because you want to get something and it's a bit pricey, or it's something that you've seen that you've been on the hunt to try and find it. So
my Grail is definitely a Magnum. Ever since I saw the Magnum for the first time, with that extra clock down there looking like a cannon, I mean, like, it just blew my mind. And then when I saw some with the graffiti, I'm like, that's it. Because like Godfather said earlier, that your pieces tell a lot about who you are. And graffiti is that. I mean, like, I've been drawing, painting, rapping, breakdance all my life, and to have it on a watch, was just blowing my mind. So I had already knew that, like, I had to get a graffiti. But then when I saw that Magnum,
I was waiting. I was waiting for this.
Yeah, Mr. Magnum. Yes, sir. Yes, we will be twins sometime soon. No, we got that last hydroplated the blue. It's funny because it's the blue. I think it's a Bolt Zeus, isn't it? And when I put it up, some of my friends on the West Coast was like, "Hey man, what you doing with that Crip watch?" So me and Vic got to be careful when we go to the West Coast. We got to watch out. But yes, definitely the Magnum and that graffiti is my Grail piece. That's what I'm going for. I don't care if it had diamonds or not. It's that one.
Yeah.
But
my first watch was my Grail piece. So I have two Grail stories that I can sum up in 2 sentences. My first watch was my Grail piece, and it was a graffiti because, we pretty much have the same style. And I'll just show it right quick. So I have 2 issues because I do love his style. I do not have his wrist size. And I do. And if we're both, and we, like I said, part of our collection is that we have matching pieces. So I wanted to kind of wait for us to find something that worked for both of us. But when I got in the Invicta store, we were school shopping for the kids, and I came across this beauty right here. And it's this face. I saw this face through the window. The glass, and I thought, oh my gosh. It's white, and I wanted a white watch. So it was like, it just checked all the boxes. It was white. It was a 42 millimeter. So I was like, I think I could do this. And I still have a few links after he sized it.
Shout out to Trap for the sizing.
Yeah, thank you for the sizing kit. So I still have a few links on each side. So it was great. It wasn't too weighty. And but I was not able to check the box on him getting one right away. But what it did do, because we caught one of those Invicta store yellow tag sales. Oh my gosh. So we ended up with
the 2 get 4.
We actually ended up getting, it was 8. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah.
It was 3 and 5.
3 and 5, yes.
Yeah, they haven't done that one in a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this was a while ago, and I had to jump on it. So I was just like, I don't care what the other 7 are. This was mine. I don't care what you do. And then I was happy for like a year. I think I was happy for a year. We bought watches for other people in the meantime. And thank you, Smith. We bought watches for other people in the meantime because I caught the bug. And I wanted everybody to have one that made them feel the same way. And so we gave all the kids one, everybody who had a birthday, everybody who had a
Father's Day and
Mother's Day, graduation. It was a no-brainer. And then the second one was Captain Marvel. So I wanted I'm a Marvel fan, and I really wanted a Marvel watch. And but I don't like the look of a lot of the Marvel watches because they don't fit the color scheme that I had in mind.
Right.
When I saw that rose tone Captain Marvel, I didn't pull the trigger, and it got away from me. It got away from me before the first commercial, before they went to a watch and came back, it was sold out. I hesitated. And so I spent a better part of a year wishing. So like every Sunday I would say, man, I should have bought.
A little upset.
I was upset. He had to hear about it every Sunday at 9 o'clock. I thought, will there be another one? I missed it.
Yeah, she really didn't want to get like, no more watches. That I didn't get that one. And I'm like, I still like watches.
Yeah. I didn't want him to buy another one. I didn't want
how does this affect me?
Yes. But I found he gifted it to me. He found it.
Yeah, I hunted it down. And then I think DC was helping me too. And we were looking for it. And someone, I guess, ended up not purchasing the one that they had on hold. So it was actually in Shop HQ. It went back into Shop HQ's stock. And as soon as it did, I was like, ship it quick, give it to me now. And so I was able to surprise her with that one so I can get my collection started back.
Yeah. So the buying freeze has lifted.
Yes.
He's not embargoed anymore.
Yeah. The mouse took the thorn out of the lion's paw.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Rico, I learned my lesson.
Yeah, hesitation. Yeah. I mean, I've done it. There's a few of them that not many. I got pretty bad for a while. I mean, there was 2018 was the year of not hesitating because my Lord, I did not hesitate because I was hitting it hard.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's a few of them out, and probably the ones that probably get me are that Etta left the game with Invicta before I was able to really get in. So there's some Valgrange. So I definitely want one of each. And it's probably been 2 or 3 years since they've done a Duprat, or however you say it, Duprat, which is a custom. So I'll just call them DD. What they do is they take a standard, like a 3-hand or something, like a SW200 or something, and they'll take that movement and they'll add a chronograph to it. So they'll layer a whole nother stack of chronograph inside it. So they're like really thick.
I don't think I've seen one of those. Yeah.
Like I say, it's been a while. Godfather, I know Godfather has a DD. There's a couple. There's a few people. If Keemon is in, I would be shocked if he did not have a DD. And okay, yeah.
I got a Dickerson.
DD. So DD makes the modules. Yeah. And but other than that, I mean, it's been, Yeah.
I the only one I hesitate now on is the clocks, because we're in the process of looking for a home, and of course we value. Well, okay, we didn't hesitate too much.
The price when the price.
Yeah. Now that one. Yeah. What was it? What did they go to? Like 69, 70?
I think it was cheaper than that.
I think it was like 49.
49.
Oh, 49. Okay, yeah.
When they dropped it, we said,
okay.
Yeah.
You hit 2, bump 2.
Yeah, I could wear one. And I'm sorry.
No,
yeah, flay.
No, so we're holding out on the clocks. That'll be our treat to ourselves when we find I wouldn't say dream home, just the home.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Hey, it's a dream home if it's your home and you like it. So
that's right. That's right.
Amen.
Yeah, right now it's still a dream.
Yeah. So I see you have a sticker and a button, and I've been wanting to ask you about that.
Oh, well, you know, when we saw you in 2019 and you were all slim and stealth, we were at the beginning of our
slim and stealth.
What you talking about? He just creeped right in. Next thing you know, he's
like, wait a minute, that's John.
No, I mean it was 2020. So we see you in 2019, then we see you in 2020, and we thought we had to reintroduce ourselves. Like, who is that? But the height and the smile, I know the height and the smile, but he's somebody different. And so we were at the beginning of a health journey, and you know, we kicked it into full gear after that cruise. That was inspirational. And that's where our wellness coaching came in. I don't know if you want to talk about that. But.
Well, yeah, you know, we had some health scares. Well, I had a health scare, you know, being obese an old beast, as my doctor calls it.
An old beast.
And you know, I've been trying to work on my health since I left Indianapolis, because I'm like, I can't be in Florida. Man, I'm in Florida. I want a Florida body. You know, and I'm like, what is it that's making all these Floridians, especially down here in South Florida, look so good? Right. And you know, we found the secret. Shout out to Coach Jean and Coach Mimi over at Boynton Beach Gets Fit. You know, showed us the way, and we went in. She started first and started dropping, and I, you know, brought up the rear.
I asked for a head start because when he starts anything, he's committed. He blows it out of the water, and I was just like, you know, and especially when women and men are trying to lose together, you know, and you know, so. I was like, can I have a head start? Just let me go do this first and see if it even works. And so it did. And I'm telling you, when I say it works, it's not in comparison to anything, but I've done a lot of things to get healthy. I can lose some pounds, but I couldn't get healthy. I couldn't, my stomach wouldn't, I just was not happy. I was not eating, you know, nothing I did was, my body had just given up. And so we did this. And so it was another thing that we could do together. You know, we've always done our business together. Everything we have worked on separately has still been overlapping. And so when this actually worked for me and they convinced us that it would work for him as well, it was something we did together. And it just, and then not only us, but as you mentioned, you know, with Christy as well, it was something that wasn't just for us, it was for everyone. And we began sharing it and, you know, sit here in this current form that we are now, only from, you know, sticking with it and having that belief, but relying on the community to encourage us along the way. So we kind of took that same family principle, that same togetherness principle, and we try to perpetuate it to everybody. So
this is my I've lost over 59-pound badge since I hit 60. Took me 6 months, a little over 6 months to drop 60 pounds. And you know, people ask, you know, does it stay off? Well, as long as you keep eating right, And it's been what, about a year. And once I think by the time I dropped 40 pounds, you know, people started asking like, what are you doing? What's going on? And so we become distributors and coaches just off of people seeing the way we look and refusing to work with anybody but us. They be like, okay, I can introduce you to my coach. And they were like, no, I want you to help me. So So we did, and we've been having such fun helping people. Like I've become addicted to making before and afters. I love seeing the look on people's faces when they see like what they used to look like compared to now. And so our mission right now is to help everyone, number one, get ready for the next cruise.
That's it.
Number two, have to resize all your watches.
We want everyone to be able to resize all of their watches.
Yeah.
So if you're on this journey, I know many of our friends, many of our Invicta friends are on this journey with us and allowing us to invade their space, expand our friendship. Buy a lot of leather straps right now. Because if you keep working with us, we're gonna have you tightening to the last hole.
Hey, all it is it's getting more proficient at size and bracelets.
That's
exactly.
It.
So with that being said, if anyone out here is looking to join or be a part, where do they need to go? You know, is there a particular site, location?
Yes. If you are on Instagram, check either one of our pages. There is a link tree there that'll take you everywhere to go. We also simply is going to put the web address to our storefront in there, so you can see that. It's simplewoe.goherbalife.com. You know,
yeah, I've got.
you can,
is it that? Whoop, I was sorry. Is it that?
Okay, that's the link tree. Hit the nutrition store.
Yeah.
Nutrition store.
Yeah.
Moving slow but show.
I see it on my side. It's coming.
Oh,
okay.
I think.
Yeah. So if you just if you don't need to be coached.
No. I got. I get it. Hold on.
Great.
Now I got.
Yeah. There you go.
Folks thought I had a tapeworm. I know Heimdall is when it happens, it just happens. Yeah.
My mother thought I was sick. She called and checked on me every week and was asking simply, like, is he okay? What's wrong with him? What's going on? And it's crazy.
Yeah.
But this is where all our products are. We have a separate site for our training area where we do our coaching and everything. So just hit us in the messages, and you want to get in, we can help you get in.
Yeah, and it's kind of like that same theory. I'll say that in the same way that we're here with you guys and loving all the family, while we can say, hey, what's up, Godfather, and we can know and connect with each other. Same thing. We bring that same family principle to it, and we coach you through it as a friend. So that might be a difference from anything you've done. And it also may be a difference in that man or woman, you're going to get there. Yeah. He talks about dropping 60 pounds in 6 months. That's not my story. He, like I said, he goes hard and on everything. I was 8 months and 25 pounds, but my goal wasn't a particular number. My goal was the health.
And I feeling better. Yeah. All of the.
Yeah.
So I immediately felt
25 pounds, but 25 pounds on her frame was a size 12 down to a size 4.
Right.
And size 4s are like, ringlet.
But that's okay. I just need to eat a few hamburgers. But yeah, it's everybody's journey is their own, and it is. My goal is, aside from having everybody resize their bracelets, I wonder if they'll give us a discount on if we aren't bringing weight onto the cruise, will they let us bring an extra a 8-slot case or something to make up for it?
You can roll on with as many 50s as you want. I can tell you that right now. Get you one of them big buggies and throw about 2 or 3 of them in there and just roll on.
I'm gonna bring them empty because I'm sure I'll fill them before we leave.
Oh, hey, yeah. Like I said, when Christy was on, and that first year, she came on with an Apple Watch. She left the boat with 4. We got home. And then within 2 weeks, she had her own Evine account, and then it was on like Donkey Kong. Then, so it was straight up. But I dropped y'all's link too, so the Simple Egg Life and everything. So, for anybody, absolutely. I mean, like I said, this isn't all about just talking about watches, because there's so much. there's so much more to all of us.
Yes.
And being able to share all of that with everyone. Now, I like to talk once in a while, not too often, but once in a while. And but for me, I've been as much of a fan of watching and learning and listening to everyone as everyone else is. So I really do appreciate how much, because this takes up time in people's lives and everything to come on and be a part of this. It really does mean a lot to me, and I really thank everyone, past, present, and future,
Yeah.
for taking that time, because it does mean a lot to me. So I really thank everyone for that. And I really want to make this next cruise, whatever year it is, whatever it is, I want this next cruise to be so obnoxiously hug ridden, and hey,
Yeah.
I recognize your face and I know who you are. So I mean, it's just going to be absolutely, yeah, like Godfather said, to put names to faces of
True.
chats and call-ins and all, the conversations, side conversations and all that, but to be
Right.
able to go and know, oh hey, I saw you, and oh yeah, you're the, I mean,
Agreed.
it's going to be like the craziest raucous family
Yeah.
reunion of
Rocking the
epic
boat.
proportions. We're
That's
going to
it.
rock that boat for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I love it. And then it's interesting how we were, um, even in these times, it's been beautiful watching people pop in on one another. We haven't gotten to do that yet, but Georgia's definitely on our. I'm a Atlanta. I wouldn't say native. I lived in Atlanta for about 8, 9 years,
Okay.
and so I've got to get back and just watching, the map and the links of where we're going and flying to, and just getting to meet people who, like you said, on walks of life who wouldn't have otherwise bumped into each other. We might have walked past one another,
Yeah.
but to really pay attention and talk and get to know one another, that has been super special.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm waiting for the normal to get back to, so we can sit face with these new faces that we know.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you say, not to just walk past somebody, or not to make an assumption of a stereotype or anything, but to get to know people. And I know it's a bit corny, but in the in the Men in Black movie, when Tommy Lee Jones sat Will Smith down on the bench, and he was like, "Why don't you tell everybody about these aliens?" And I remember the line he says, "A person is smart, people are dumb. If you
Mhm.
talk to a person, you can have a conversation. If you talk to people, you have pandemonium."
Yeah.
I think so much of that is true in so many of the things that we assume about someone, or anything that's going on. And to really, you know am I naive to think that everyone in here has the same social, political, religious, whatever it is? No, absolutely not. But what's more important is understanding that we are all people, and that we can all get along
Yeah.
and be kind and civil to each other,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
maybe, just maybe, have enough personal relationship with a person to maybe be able to listen to
Yes.
what another person's viewpoint, background, how they were raised, whatever it is, to give you another perspective. I mean, I'll admit, when I was born on a small farm in Michigan, and you know, out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, the first time I saw a person that was not white, I think I was like in the third grade, and I
Yeah.
mean, it was such a curiosity, because I just didn't even know. Of course, I mean, even TV, you couldn't even really tell because this, because
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is way back. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm old as dirt, so I mean, this is way back. And but you know, to just be able to have these relationships that if we could, I think it was Godfather, if we could put an Invicta watch on every person and have a conversation, we would have so many less issues
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
we might be able to sit down and actually have a conversation, not a screaming match, not a he said she said and all that, but actually be able to have a conversation to get to know the person and talk to the person. And but
It
I know
definitely.
I digress on all kinds of
No,
stuff.
that's what I
No,
mean.
you hit it.
That's one thing that it does. For a long time, because our style is not gaudy, but it's eye catching,
Hmm.
and we always worried about being in the entertainment industry. Everything's about flash,
Yeah.
but being in the gospel entertainment industry, it's about flash and sparkles.
Right.
But we try not to give into that as well. And it's not a struggle for us, but it's more of a struggle not to overcorrect
Right.
and tone ourselves down to where we're invisible.
Right.
And to be okay with the fact that we like flashy things every now and then, or like I don't wear makeup all the time, but I put some on today, so not to overcorrect. So now when we put on our Invicta watches and we go out into a setting, it's like we have to be really secure in the story behind what this means to us,
Yeah.
and not just what that somebody might look at it and be like, oh, they're into something else that watches 56 millimeters gold with diamonds. How
Why
did
your
they
watch
get
so big?
that? So it's gonna catch eyes, when I have the graffiti on, but I am okay with the story that I have behind
Right.
the watch. It isn't just to be flashy. Each watch means something and is an opportunity for a conversation. So I think in that's absolutely right. And even the fact that you and Godfather were having a conversation says that it's doing exactly what it gives opportunity to do. And we have had opportunity to talk with people and hear people, not just be talking, but to
Right.
be listeners as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, we have one particular friend, Smitten knows, Lola. Her husband is a very quiet man. Quiet man. English isn't necessarily his primary language, but and he has a heavy dialect. It doesn't matter. We go to church together, and when we walked into church, he didn't have to say a word that I didn't understand. I didn't know what he's saying, but he had on that Invicta watch, and we stood there and had a speechless conversation for at least 15 minutes
every
after
Sunday.
church every Sunday.
Hmm.
We just compare watch things,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I probably have said 5 words,
Hmm.
that Lola wasn't maybe translating or speaking for for them as a couple, but him personally, I've probably heard 5 words out of his mouth.
Right.
But we have a connection, and
that's
it's
my
even
guy.
deeper than church. It's Invicta, like, so expanded. No, what's the word? Augmented that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, I've said, there's been times, I think we were actually driving back from 2020 and we stopped at a grocery store late at night picking up some stuff. And I think did I have my John the Phone Guy shirt, or I had a cruise shirt on? I think I had the cruise shirt on.
Oh,
And we were going through the register and I forget what watch, and literally struck up a conversation with a lady who was one of like the front end managers, that was walking back and forth, and she saw the shirt, and then we got into this whole conversation. But and it was so fun. But I think more importantly is you never know what that one conversation can mean to another person who you've never met before, you may never meet again, and that one conversation that maybe in some ways you're just talking about a watch. It's kind of trivial in some respects, but you never know what that one conversation may mean to them from a personal level of an interaction, of a uplifting, of hey, I see you, and I want to say that's a really nice watch, have a great day, whatever it is, that it may be something that's enough of a push for them to feel good at that moment, or whatever it is. I mean, you never know, like I say, you never know how you're going to affect someone.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
by being able to do that, you may be able to uplift someone, and never know the repercussions that it may have, that you've affected them, in a positive way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think the watches are a great metaphor, for it all, for people. You know, so many folks look at your wrist and say, "Well, that's a watch." Okay, well, yeah, it's true, that's a watch, but what you don't understand is that this is a coalition forces. And this is what this means. This is a magnum. This is what this is for. This is a pro diver. This,
Mm-hmm.
This is a burrito.
And then we go to the burrito. And it's the same thing with people. You can look and say, okay, well, that's a black guy. I mean, yeah, but there's so much more to this man than just being a black man. You can say that's a white guy, but there's so much more to this guy just being a white guy. And we all have, not just our culture, but we have our personal experience and personal wisdom. And like you're saying, you never know what you may say that could trigger a response in a positive or negative way. My father was one who volunteered a lot in schools, and there was a young lady who was walking through the hallway one time looking real sad. And he just happened to look at her and say, "Well, hello, my little valedictorian. What's wrong?" And she was like, nothing, went on about her business, and came back at the end of the grading period and showed Dad her report card. And he was like, wow, all these A's, like, you are doing great. You are going to be the valedictorian of this class. And she was a sophomore at the time. And for the next 3 years, she kept bringing him her report card every year. Till finally the end of the senior year came. She was the valedictorian. And when she gave her speech, she told the rest of the school, pointing at him, that day when he said hello for the first time, she was going home to end her life. She was sick of school, sick of all these different things going on in her life, and she was ready to throw in the towel. But because he just followed, the spirit, and just saw a young lady with her head down and just, tried to say something. He didn't know what her grades or anything was. That was just the first thing that came to his heart and his mind.
Yeah.
And helped save that young lady's life. So it's true. You don't know who you're speaking to, when and what. And sometimes somebody just needs a simple hello.
Yeah.
Just acknowledge their presence,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, in the end, I mean, it's those kind of interactions that I hope that we can all have with each other, for each other, and all of that we can be, we can be a positive influence for someone that may be having a bad day, that they may never even tell you what may be going on in their life, that you've, you gave them another reason to think about a situation. You all right? Sorry. Playing nurse. I'm playing nurse over here. She's messing with the ice machine, so I'm trying to figure out what she's doing. But
recovery, my Christy.
Yeah, she's, it's been a little slower than what she cares for, and but I've got an ice machine, and swelling, and I'm getting, I'm not a nurse, but I'm pretty good at bandages. I can tell you that. I can whip out some bandages now.
Right.
She keeps saying, "Quit doing everything for me," and I was like, "No, don't worry about it." I said the other night, last night, so I don't want you to get up because my back's not exactly the greatest right now. I said, "Well, put it this way." I said, "In a month," I said, "You can pay me back all you want." I said, "Because when I get done with my surgery." Yeah, I remember 2 years ago when so you'll be the one up and down the stairs and up and down the stairs.
Right.
Don't worry about everything I'm doing right now.
So I'm gonna tag you in.
Yeah, get real quick because.
So Godfather's asking, has anyone ever asked you why did you buy a particular watch, and what was your answer?
Well, yeah, I get a lot of questions. One, can you give me the next one up?
Oh, wait, hold on. I need a forklift. Hold on.
This baby right here was such a beauty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
This one right here, we were on the cruise when they introduced them, and I was falling in love. And
wait, I love games.
Go ahead.
Put in the chat. You saw what he showed. Put in the chat if you can name that watch. Don't spit it out just yet. What it is? Show the little angle.
I can tell it to you right now because
you can.
I remember, and we've had this conversation when Trap was actually interviewing some people back on Lido, and I'm actually in the back of the video, looking all stupid because I literally ordered all 3 versions, and I have that exact colorway on that specific one. So and I remember, in fact, we were sitting by the pool, and it was AL and Daniel. And y'all were beside us or right behind us? One of the two they were passing. I think they passed that one back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did, and they didn't put it in my hand, so I was a little salty about that. Shout out to Daniel. I thought we were cool.
So that's part of the story, how it came to be. When Daniel, they were very strategic. The host and the producer put it in my hand. And so that's kind of how he ended up with it. Go, I'll let you tell.
Yeah, so it was 2020 cruise, and our budget, we budgeted money to go on cruise.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have the budget to buy anything. We weren't planning on it, and
it wasn't a priority because I just knew I was going to cancel before the cruise came. I was kept trying to back out.
You were spinning 24/7 thinking of a good reason the whole time, like.
Yeah.
Now that'll get shot down.
I'm like happy to be
that one's got possibility. Let me write that one down.
I wasn't asking for anything. I was like, as long as we here, I don't even need to play the bingo game. I don't need anything as long as I'm here. And so they started. They asked people to line up when they were going to reveal them all. And remember, they had us line up through the doorway and lead into the where the Jenga station was. And I just jumped in line because I wanted to see it, And she was right next to me, and then she disappeared. I didn't know what was going on, but I was like, okay. I saw her talking to one of the ladies, so I know she was safe. And I'm like, eyes on watches. And I get all the way up there, and I'm like, man, I want one of these really bad. And I'm not a big, like, diamonds are not like my favorite thing, but this right here,
we got to put it on.
So next thing I know, some orders started happening, some numbers started going back and forth, and some different things. There was a tablet that wasn't connecting to the internet right, and it was like so many issues and so many things going on. And all I know is you tell the rest of the story because I'm like, freaking out. I'm like, what?
She while he was ogling the display pieces, we had hooked it up where the producer was helping me place the order, and we had like 5 seconds before it went live. and she knew that once it went live, and she was just like, she just kind of mouthed, and I was like, and she was just like, and so we ended up, I disappeared out of the line. And the hard part, we were doing this so strategic, so, you know, under the radar. I ended up sending the watch to my daughter's address by accident because I had, you know, I wasn't buying watches for myself, and we had just been buying watches and sending them to family.
Right.
The last person I had ordered for was my daughter, so her address,
the last address in there. Yep.
Yeah. So I just kind of, I was like, yeah, that's me. That's my account. Boom. And so the watch didn't come, and I was just like, what is going on? And we looked, and we realized it was to the other address. They couldn't cancel it. It was, you know, so my daughter got it, had to send it back to us, but I just kind of presented him the picture and showed him what was coming. Yeah. But they had helped me secure that order before John bought them all up from me. And I wasn't going to hesitate this time. And when they pass around a watch, it does make you get a little fever. And, you know, it got Godfather. He says he tried on Ryan's and was sold. So
I'm trying to remember which one Ryan had on, because I remember it was either that one or it was the hybrid. I'm thinking
they were all wearing chaos.
They're all wearing chaoses. Okay, so Ryan let me try his. I got to try Kendi's. Christy tried Kendi's too. I mean, I literally remember I was watching the show, and I had my tablet, and I remember the first night we got on, I tried to order something, and I was having trouble with my iPad, and I had to go up to Lido and stand off almost the side of the boat to get the right signal, and I got mad. So then I went down to customer service. I said, "What's the next price package?" I said, "It's ridiculous." So I went, and that's it. And bought the mid package, and then I could Wi-Fi package. And, the gold bezel. Yeah. And I was just like, so I was sitting there, and I was just like, I remember doing the order, and at first I was like, I only bought 2 of them. And then I was looking at it, and because they were bringing the prices up one at a time, and it was like, what was it? It was $2.99, $3.99, and $4.99, wasn't it?
Yes,
something like that. Yes. So I had 2 of them in, and I did it, and then there was a coupon. I forget what it was. There was a coupon somehow. So then I went in and I wiped them all out and canceled all those, and then went back in again, and then started going and then did it as one lump. And and then I remember, because it was getting frantic, you know, because they're like, this is going. I'm like, and I'm like clicking, and I'm like clicking, cancel, okay, put it. And I was going nuts, and all of a sudden I got the email confirmation. I was like, you know, and I was all. So that was when I got all 3 of them.
I was right there in the middle of all of that, thinking like, wow. I'm like,
what is wrong with that guy?
I wanted to. And like,
there you go.
I was kind of feeling left out, and I hadn't felt like that feeling since, you know, being a kid or something. Maybe I'm like, I want one. And for her to present that to me, you know, it just blew my mind. It was like, you know, one of the gifts other than having her, you know, accept my proposal and become my wife and take my next name. It was like, you know, wow. And so then I don't know if everybody remembers in the chats when I would come in every week and be like, nope, still haven't got it yet. Or John, you know, somebody would ask me, you get that chaos yet? Nope.
Man.
I was trying to a big old kid. I'm like, no, I ain't getting my watch yet.
Godfather had it. So it was 2, 3, and 5. Okay. And then the coupon, there was a 20%.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. So that's why it's funny, because I go back and I look at that order, and there was stuff all over the place. And so then when because they released the prices and then found out about the coupon, and I was like, well, with the coupon, that takes this to this and this to this, and okay, that's that. And, oh yeah, you know. So then I was like, you know, fever pitch trying to get it. Oh right. Yeah, and then add 5% for VIP. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And that when they were running around handing out the envelopes of credit.
Oh, yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
So we had so I don't have a favorite host of Shop HQ, but I will say they each have their own special something. And so Daniel is just like I think each host is kind of like Invicta watches. You know, when Kendi's gonna give you something elegant. It's gonna be very it's going to be shiny, for lack of a better word. It's going to be shiny. It's going to be elegant, and then Justin's going to lay you some man piece. He's going to give you something, and break it down for you. And then Ryan's going to give you something that just has a history to it. That has this. The interesting thing about this is, and if you just look here, you'll see. He'll tell you the tidbits to make you really appreciate it. And but Daniel he's not as frequent an Invicta host. He's all over different things. So he pops up with something special every now and then. And that's my kind of Invicta watch. I don't buy everything I see, but when something pops up, it's that special something that I don't see it very often. Mm-hmm. And so it was interesting because every time they were about to unveil a watch that I wanted, which mine is the graffitis, that's just I'm trying to catch them all like Pokemon, and even the ones I can't wear, I want to get them and just have them in my collection. But so Daniel was running around, and when he brought out the Hercules on the 2020 cruise, and it was 2020 cruise, and I loved it. But it was
so Jesus was asking about the VIP program, so I'm just going to pop it up real quick.
Tell
Shop HQ VIP, and it's basically that's the program, and then Shop HQ, and then there's all kinds of other. You can go to the marketplace. So it'll click on it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got to sign in, but I won't do it. But basically, there's all kinds of stores like Home Depot and oh, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Like GameStop, Lowe's, Nike, all these places that you get 5% cash back.
Oh, wow.
You get your shipping cost refunded.
Yes. Yeah. It's a bargain. It's worth it because you're gonna be shopping.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
Yeah. So
back to the story. Sorry.
Oh no! So answering Godfather's question, what's your piece? And when people ask you about it, I'm all about the graffitis, and I just kind of streamline that. I love rose tone, so I try to get other watches in the similar color, and Brito because they it's Florida,
right?
It's the culture,
independent artists.
It's all the colors. It's supporting an artist. When I know how hard it is for somebody to appreciate your art, and the meaning behind his art, and they're just beautiful pieces. So I've been trying to collect graffitis and Britos, and I'm doing better on the Britos than the graffitis. But each watch, people will ask why I buy it. They won't ask me why I bought a particular piece, but they will ask me why I buy Invicta, and it takes me back to each piece I've ever bought for someone. Like my daughter is a young mom, and she doesn't get a lot of encouragement. Sometimes she feels like she doesn't get the encouragement from me. So, I feel like by helping you, by doing daily things, isn't that encouragement? But you have to show love to a person the way they receive it. So I can't just speak in my love language. If he likes me to sit closer, I can't be like, oh, I love you, I'm sitting with you. I got to bring it in close every now and then. So her in particular, she needed something to pep her up, and saw the Angel series. And I thought, this is perfect. Mother's Day was coming up, and I got her an Angel watch, and she's a dancer. So she had done a piece, a dance piece to a song called Angel. So when she opened that box, she instantly knew This is reminding me of who I am. I'm more than a mom, but then this means something to her. And each person's watch has kind of been like that. And that's why I buy it, because there's something for everyone, including myself. And it gives you an opportunity, like, just like you were saying, you never know what's going to brighten somebody's day. When I think about this Invicta family and how many, I don't know too many, there's watch collectors who might do this, but I don't know, coalition of collectors that give away more than they buy for themselves. It's a running theme in the Invicta collectors groups. Yep. You are going to gift someone an Invicta with a story.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we tell people, because it's how we all show love, and invite people into the family.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I was gifted my first one, and we've been giving them away ever since. And I think we do have more in our collection now than we've given away.
Yes,
for a minute, it was it was like we got like 5 watches all together, and we've just been buying and giving away watches. So it's good to have some. And then like I won that one from Trap in DC during their party. That was nice. Being that was a blue Pro Diver. Now that goes next to the red one they gave me. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing that not only is the family so giving, all of us on here, but then for them to give away so many watches on the cruise and things that happen on the show, and they give somebody a watch, and to see this young lady right here doing the A-Town stomp on stage at the last cruise, and one that
we got video evidence of that one. Yeah.
I don't have the liability.
Yeah, so I mean, you would. I mean, I just don't. You don't see that anywhere else. It may happen somewhere else. We just may not know of it, but in so many communities and so many different things, you just don't see. No. It's more of a competition. It's like, even with rappers, when I go different places and I meet someone who raps, in my heart, I'm thinking, oh, you rap. We have a connection. Let's talk. Let's build. Let's have lunch. But most of the time, you meet a rapper, they're trying to battle you.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not about a brotherhood. It's about beating you down and showing that I'm better than you.
Yeah, and I'm like, maybe when I was 16 and 17, that was cool. But bro, I'm 47. I ain't trying to battle 47? You. I'm 47. Wow. I'm about to be 48. In June. So anybody giving away anyway. I'll be 48. Birthday club, June 3rd. So I mean, it's an amazing
48.
thing.
Sorry, I got it wrong still.
Oh, you're trying to keep me 47. Okay. But it's an amazing thing for people to just give away stuff. Like you just don't see that, especially like if it's not a holiday or some special event, that's going on. It's like people give watches for no reason. It's like, oh, you having a bad day? Let me just give you a watch. Here, this one right here has this history, So shout out to the entire Invicta family community, and everybody who blesses us, online, everywhere. We go places. Oh, okay. There's a beautiful young lady in Marshalls over here in Boynton Beach, and she could see my watch. I think I had on a graffiti that day. She could see my watch from across the room, and she was doing all like this. And I'm like, oh, I'm thinking like I'm about to start battle rapping or something. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? What's happening? And I get up to the thing. She say, I see that Bo Zeus. I see it. I'm like, oh. And I look, and she's got I think she had a boat on.
Okay.
It was a gold boat with the white band and had the with the gold bars. And I was like, oh. And so people around us was looking at us crazy because we both like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, you going on the cruise? She was like, cruise? What cruise? And then we, just, it's just beautiful, man. I love this thing. Shout out to all of it. I love all of you. It's good just being part of this family, man.
Yeah, Vic. Vic said, "Are you shocked what a watch has done to bring the amazing family together?" No, I'm shocked and proud of how Invicta brought this family together, but how you don't let it stay with Invicta. And same like what we started the live off with. I'm not shocked that we're together. I'm shocked and really uplifted by how when we get off of a boat, when we walk out of an Invicta store, when we get off of a chat, there's still camaraderie and community happening. And it's not duplicated with a lot of other things. I've I've been privy to what's the different clubs? Not I'm thinking of the one with the I just went blank, and I can see all the different seals and symbols. But there's many community groups.
Oh, like Kiwanis, Lions Group.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, Shriners.
Exactly what I'm thinking of. The different iterations. You read my mind. See what I'm saying? We here. Those I've seen that. I've participated. I've volunteered with different groups. But it stops at the door. And this does not. People allow themselves to keep those relationships, keep those fires burning, and those bonds tying tighter. Off the cruise, in between cruises. We already told you we're gonna pop up on your doorstep as soon as it's safe enough to do.
Well, that depends how many guns you got.
He like
I'm gonna call before I come.
He's gonna call from the door. He's like, it's like you don't show up on anybody. I do. I show up on people's door.
Hey, you can do that, but I'm like, hey.
I'm still.
Don't worry, I got enough cameras. I see you coming.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'll at least wait in the daylight. I won't show up at too dark. But it is how people have allowed themselves to keep those relationships going outside of the chats and outside of it's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And for clarification of all of this, Tony's birthday is June 23rd, and he'll be 48, June 3rd, and he'll be 48. Not he was born in 1948, as my wife seems to think that I was saying that we were married in 1948. But our wedding anniversary is June 3rd.
Oh, hey, okay, we got to celebrate then. Okay.
So, that's what all that was.
Okay, so your anniversary,
our wedding anniversary is June 3rd.
Okay. Whoa, that's all right.
Third in the building.
That was a good day.
Yeah.
See, threes work for me, right? So so our first date was June 3rd. Our anniversary is June 3rd. My birthday is April 3rd. My father's birthday is November 3rd. So October.
I was gonna say you're on a roll. You have it easy to remember, but now you got to remember the month.
If you heard her, she said that's why she picked the 3rd, so as not to confuse me.
Smart.
You know what?
Smart lady.
You just solved every woman's problem right there. Pick the date that he's gonna remember. You won't have that'll save you 50 years of. Okay,
yes, easy on
that was a free tidbit for anybody watching.
Trying to remember football stats and dates and everything. Too much going on.
What he can, work within the system. Don't buck the system. That makes sense.
Right.
We had 3 different wedding dates, so I never can remember which one we actually ended up on. It's terrible. So and people look, they like, because I'm really good with dates. Like I'll remember your dad's date was birthday is October 3rd. I'll remember your anniversary is June 3rd. I'll remember your birthday is April 3rd. It's just in there now. I'm a numbers person.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what day we got married because we had to keep changing the date for different things. And so we just do whenever. We count the year.
We say God wanted it to be August 12th because the venue, they lost our they
wrote the contract up for the wrong
date, and it was just so much going on. Yeah,
Hurricane Katrina,
AARP letters.
Oh yeah, get ready. Yeah,
no,
yeah, get ready.
She gets them now, and she's 4 years younger than I am.
I'm like,
yeah. You know, she was a freshman in high school when I was a senior, so I'm like, carry your book, make you feel like a champion.
Feel a fresh man.
Yeah. It's
12 to 2. Okay.
Yeah, see, there. Yeah, now you're rolling.
That's it. You just solved the wonders of life. I love it. Should we just go ahead and change the date to one I can remember?
No.
Well, it's on him.
Anytime that people ask, "What's your anniversary?" and then she looks at me, and everybody go, "What? Why you looking at me? Men are supposed." I mean, like, I love that feeling. So you just keep it what it is.
Yeah, he gets to 1 point.
That 1 point.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny too because we haven't watched it in forever, but so we were at the church and everything, and it was in Winston-Salem. There had literally been a tornado that rolled through the town the day before the wedding, and you can hear in certain parts of the video chainsaws cutting up the trees, and like half the power was down, and it was crazy. It was crazy.
That brings us even closer together because the day that I was born, a tornado hit Indianapolis bad. The power was out in the hospital. They were running on generators and stuff. And it's funny because it was a women's Catholic hospital. So there were, as Mom explains it, there were all these nuns and stuff running around with the power blinking off. And it looks like The Exorcist starting up. So here comes a baby. So
yeah. Little Rosemary's Baby rolling down the hallway there.
Oh God. Yeah. So I see Jim Watch Girl says she keeps a case of gift watches. So I'm gonna tell you thank you in advance when you send that birthday. You don't even have to send it on the birthday. Just label it a birthday gift and send it.
You can say, sorry it's late or early, whichever it is.
Right. Belated.
Yeah, you can say one was late from last year and then still get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
June, so
verbiage is kind of loose. You can just kind of
Yeah, we blame the postman.
Yes, do what your heart feels.
We like all colors.
Oh my God, no, you gotta leave that one up. That was funny.
Oh man, I saw something about Tony was born. I joined the air. Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
I didn't think you were that old, Godfather. I thought you was just rocking the gray because you were cool.
Oh wow. Well, they were letting at 16, you could be 16 and be considered a man back in the day too.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not trying to take your years away from you. You earned all the years, but I'm just saying if you want that one, you can have that free explanation there.
There you go. Yeah.
Man. So what is the one thing that you think Invicta will do? How do you think they will kind of bring the family together if it doesn't end up be able to be a cruise? Do you think a cruise is in our future? Do you think there's some iteration of gathering that it'll transform into?
I still feel that the cruise is still viable. I just don't know if they're gonna have the logistical time to get everything booked up for next year. But I think the format works for them. And obviously with production and all of the pieces that go into doing it, and when we were on the cruise, and I think you were in the room with us too when he was asking all the questions. They're like, why don't you do one in California or Texas or whatever? And it's the logistics of all of the equipment. And I talked with Ryan and some of the producers and everything, and literally they're on the ship 2 weeks prior to our cruise. So they do they do a dry run of just looking at everything, getting it all set up. A week before, they start running all the cables and getting all of that prepped, and then they have to stay. And that's why, like, on the last night when they start switching over, like, as soon as some of the locations are done with, they're not going to shoot from like the top of Lido by the hot tub or something like that. They're like, I mean, these cable guys, they're like, they're up till, I think they're up till like 4 or 5 in the morning, as we're coming into port, trying to pull all this stuff off, because they have to get it off the ship for the next cruise. So it's a large undertaking. The land cruise idea, aka like a convention, I'm not opposed to it. I think logistically you would have to work some of the details out, and honestly, I think if you do a land cruise and you're kind of just all, I mean, it's like, for anybody, I'm sure plenty of people have done like, product conventions and things like that. You do the shows, and, you have people, which I think there's a really cool idea behind it and everything. But I think the fact of everyone just being on the ship and being around each other, and not necessarily forcing us to commingle and be around each other, but I think there really is just a different kind of vibe of you can kind of disconnect from stuff. Like, you're not on land, you're not watching the news in your room or things like you're kind of more, I think you're more engaged.
That's true.
For me personally. But yeah, I think, it is a lot of work. I think it's a huge marketing piece. And I really think after this last cruise and, listening to AL and talking about things like, and Traps mentioned this before, the anticipation of this family growth was more than he or anyone else, I believe, ever saw coming. And it really, I think, took a lot behind. It took him by surprise. But I also think, and all things considered, a business is a business. They're going to, work to, make money and all that. But I think the ideas behind, them, buying a large portion of shop and being more engaged in that and putting all this stuff together. I think, they are more than happy to utilize our grassroots love for the watches and the community and the family vibe, that I think the more they can utilize and feed into the idea and add more to it, is a plus for them. I mean, I really do. I mean, it's going to be, Godfather's, of all the land places, Godfather would be the cookout, the end all cookouts. Like, I feel sorry for Virginia Beach if that happens, because we're going to descend upon them like
coming in hot.
Coming in hot for sure.
They're gonna have to make way. It'll be like it'll be the next Miami spring break. It'll be yellow, seas of yellow everywhere, and they'll be wondering what happened.
People, Now that would be something. So like at NASCAR races, they have like these big tractor trailers of like merchandising. So they could literally like put an Invicta store in a couple tractor trailers and roll that thing in, man, and just have everybody just showing up and.
We can have a parade.
Yeah, we could do a little mini little Invicta parade.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
we might have to put a few collections in some tractor trailers at that point.
Yeah,
there'll be a few cruises and several new family members.
Yeah,
I say few as very underwhelmingly, but a few new collectors, just a few hundred each year. Hundred. So that's how everyone's gonna have to display. Just drop the sides and
can you imagine that happening? In the news, getting wind of it, and we're like, we don't understand what's going on. All we know is that someone named the Godfather has a lot of people ripping and running through the streets, making offers that they can't refuse. Yeah. So
when somebody comes by, the opening torch carrier, Vic Fowl, big yellow banner, split, and here,
running around talking about date check, homie. What's your date?
Date
on your watch.
No, I can imagine what the
Yeah, we'll get one of those big helmets, that's got like the little flashing red light on it, and give him like a big old vest that says "Date Police." He'll be going up and down the line checking.
I cannot. We all in love. No, and it will be. We do parade in characters. The Punisher would make an appearance, and I don't know. I might have I'm almost there. I kind of got a burrito going on right here. I got half of a burrito.
You can do a couple of burrito suits. I don't know about that Lamborghini, but definitely do a couple of burrito suits.
Yeah,
we got a Genesis.
I can do it up.
Well, hey, I know what. T, I think T's still in here. She does like auto graphics. We could have T work up a rap.
Yeah.
We got a truck that we need to have done.
Yeah, that's all right.
Man. What it said, Vic said, not sure if it was discussed. What's the next watch you were targeting? The next one I'm targeting, I tell you what, that DC got the Hercules, the white Hercules with the switchable bands. That, man, I saw that and I was like, that, I don't know, something about that white and that chain made me think of like Iceman or somebody. I was like, I think I really want that, but that Magnum graffiti will always be like the top of the list.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Herc. Like I remember when Trap came down to Atlanta and we did the show at the collector show and everything, and I think that was like right about the time the Herc first came out, and I remember seeing it in the store, and I was just kind of looking at it at the time, and it's like, no, not feeling it, and
I was like that at the beginning too.
And I was just like, and then I saw a little bit more, and then when we went back and we went to the Perimeter Store Mall, and then I saw it again, and that's where they had that rose tone. I don't got it in front of me. That I didn't. So Shop didn't have that colorway, but it was. Now this one just came in just the other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the full rose tone for that Christy got just the other day. I haven't sized it yet. I'm slacking in my duties.
I really when I first saw it, I didn't like it, but then when they had Shaq on the show and this one popped up,
yes,
and was like
the black and that gold,
and then Simple was like, get it. I pulled the trigger, and then she surprised me with some beads from which
Oh, the elevate your wrist.
Elevate your wrist.
Dominique.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Weight too.
Yeah.
So, I mean that, and at first I thought they were like, yeah, that's too much, too gaudy, too ugly. And man, when I wear it, people see that thing and they're like, "Whoa, what is that? What?" So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. But that white one, and then, but I would love to go ahead and get have this one, and then get the gladiator and get the kraken, and have like a little Greek mythology thing going on.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Yeah, I've got the Kraken, so I picked up the Kraken in the 8040N. I didn't grab the Z60 yet. I do have the Herc now, and I've not grabbed the Gladiator yet. I'm kind of being a little bit more picky, and I hate to say it, but after doing this a while, I kind of know how the pricing model goes at times. So, sometimes, there's some watches that, I can't, I can't hold myself back on for whatever reason, especially if it's an LE. LEs come in a whole nother class, but I will definitely have one. I'm gonna probably wait, and I am not gonna be like Trap, and not size, or like some of the other guys out there that are behind. But I do have one. I got about 3 that I need to do, but I'll knock them out. I'll knock them out because she's been dying to. Where's the other one? There's another one laying around here. She's been dying to post it, and I haven't done it yet. So I'll maybe after the show I'll add to my internalization of some pharmaceuticals, and I'll be good to go. I'll bang that thing out.
Yeah.
So,
It used to be a thing to let your chain dangle, though. I don't.
oh, really?
I think back in the day, depending on what generation you came up with, like you would just let your bracelets have a little dangle room. Now the difference being you with like Invicta's face, those types of heavy crowns, and big faces. So it big a risk to just let it flip and flop everywhere. But that was the old school style. So homage to the 90s. But I don't have a hmm?
I was gonna say, pull out the 2 graffitis.
No, I don't have one that I'm targeting. I goes back to the beginning when we said when I see it I know.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. I try when I know I'm not looking, I try to keep a very low profile. I might see something that I like, and there will be no stopping me. Yeah, that's it. And so when I think right now in the midst of not looking for anything, I'm trying to increase my bead game. I'm trying to get my patterns together and finish out the look. So I've been stalking Smitten's page wholeheartedly to make sure that my wardrobe, my hair, I'm working on the shoes. I have horrible feet. You feel me? I can relate. I have
not horrible looking feet. No,
they feel terrible. And so a lot of the styles I like, I can't wear. And I'm selective about when the sneakers that I get too. So I'm trying to make sure my sneakers and the watches and the beads go together. I did find how
Yeah, she did. I think they froze.
Can they still hear you?
I don't know. I still got them. They're still here. Okay. So everyone can still hear me. Okay. Oh, okay. I think we lost them. They may have had a. Okay, we lost. Okay, so yeah, so they froze. So let's. I'll wait for them. So I'll wait for them to jump in so she can finish that story out for sure. So I want to hear that one. So we'll kind of wait for that. But yes, I am gonna size. So in fact, I'm even gonna, while I'm waiting, I will get ready. So I'll get all my stuff out here. The battery might have died. I don't know. I don't think they're on an Android, so I don't think that was a problem.
There they are.
Oh, there he is. All right, we got him again. There you are.
What's up, man?
Sorry about that.
No,
I
it's
went
all
in
right.
on the phone.
It happens.
It happens. No biggie. Yeah, we got you.
There we go. Yeah.
Sorry
I don't
about
know.
that.
No,
Internet's
it's all
doing something
good. So
crazy.
we were up to shoes and matching and something.
Oh, yeah. So I'm trying to get my bead game and my shoe game, the whole matching. So I've been watching Smitten by Invicta and the whole lifestyle, so I can bring this to full circle.
Yeah.
So that is really helpful. I do appreciate, and I know that's a labor of love. I personally appreciate somebody to help me bring it all together, because I'm not a shopper, but I can pull something off the rack that somebody else has put together. She does the thinking for me, so I really rely on that. And then my friend, I found out by posting my watch of the day, I found out a lot of friends from high school are now wearing Invictus, and they know nothing about the cruise. They don't know, and so I've been trying to introduce them to this family, because they're out there. There's a lot of Invicta. They're on lone islands, just buying things off of Amazon and things like that.
Buy it off of Amazon, or they go on a cruise and they pay the cruise prices. And,
yes, yeah.
yeah.
So when we can snatch them up and bring them to safety, that I try to turn them on to you guys ASAP, and my ladies. And so one of my high school friends, I love Gonzo. Shout out to Bees by Gonzo. But I do have a high school classmate who helps kind of you show her the watch you have, and maybe you didn't pull the trigger fast enough and you missed it. She will hunt it down and find it for you. DP Designs, Demetri Pope, and she finds it for you, and then they say they want to elevate your wrist, so they hook up the beads to go with it, and you get a matching set when it comes to you.
Nice. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I need as much thought out in that moment for me as possible.
Hey, I mean, it's all about, sharing the experience of, like I would never try and do that, because it's not my thing. I definitely would not try and rap. So we all have our strengths. And,
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot.
Be glad.
Yeah. Y'all be very glad that I would not.
We all have our strengths. We all have our strengths, and praise God that the more we connect with people, the more we can like add their strength to to our stable. Yeah. Not that we should use their strength. Like if certain questions come up about watches, well, I'm calling John because I know John got specs. But if they want to talk about beautiful graffitis and the things that rappers would wear and what hip hoppers would do, you can call Tony Wolf.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can help you pick one.
Yeah, I can sell them now.
Yeah. Now, have you had anybody come up to you and say, do you like posting watches, like do you sell them or whatever? Have you had people come up to you asking about that?
I don't think not do I sell them. They've asked if like I was a brand ambassador,
okay.
for Invicta, and I'm like, no, I've been blessed to do a couple of things like Giorgio Brutini and man, I can't even remember what that other one was. Just to do a couple of things, but not these are just strictly my love for watches and love for the family. So
yeah. Yeah.
Vic can wrap presents and cling wrap on plates.
I just need him to wrap up a hug for me when we get on this cruise, man.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
I need one of them New York City hugs.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it's gonna be crazy. Rona or not, I'm gonna be hugging a lot of people. I think she meant to click on a button and she dropped herself from the show. That's all right. We'll wait for them. They'll be back here in a second. I don't think that one was battery. I'm like, well, I think she meant to click on a link and click the get me out of here link.
Streamlab is sensitive.
That was an ID10T error.
Here, you hold the watches.
We all have our strengths, and some of us have weaknesses.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's too funny. Oh my gosh. That's funny.
Oh God. Yeah. I won't touch the electronics. I won't touch the electronics.
She's the rapper. I'm the DJ.
Yes. I don't let him sing.
No.
Stays over there. Yeah. No, I think we're still on a mission of finding matching watches too. I'm the jealous type where if his is bigger than mine, I get a little sad. And I've talked to Ryan about this. I've told him to stop dividing our household. Convince him that he needs to convince them to come out with, so here's my take on this, and I'd love to blow up the chat with responses. As a woman who likes big faces, now some of the pieces too, not some, most of the pieces that Christy posts, Smitten's watch game, let me tell you, I'm a fan, and they are so beautiful. I don't always, and I'm thinking that watch looks so much better on her than when I saw it online. Like, it didn't catch my eye when I was looking at it, but then she puts it on and puts it together, and I'm like, why didn't I buy that? I want that. Maybe it just looks good on her. I don't know. It doesn't catch me at first, but I love, like, the Hercules. I love the Hercules. I can't wear the Hercules. Now, is it wrong of me? I know it's not, but I'm just for the sake of argument. Is it wrong of me to think that you should make a woman's version of a Magnum, a woman's version of a Hercules, a woman's, and not just same style, but bring the size down, because it'll still be a Magnum to me. It'll still be a Grand Lupa to me. I don't want to buy baby Lupas, because that same baby Lupa would fit my baby grandson. I want a Grand Lupa female version, female size. Is that wrong of me? Is that ever? Do you think that's reasonable?
No, and we've had conversations, on that vein. Like I say, the Hercules, they've come out with the 42, 43. There's been some SAS that they've come out with 44. Of course, the Pro Diver is pretty easy to do. The Bolt is fairly easy to do in a coordinated size comparison. And I do appreciate. Sorry, what?
They do a great job with the Boat Zeus. Those match up well.
Yeah, they really do.
So Janet says the same thing.
Yeah, Janet's like, totally agrees. On the Lupas, I know that, like, when we bought a matching, so we bought the Revolution, which is like severely curved, like it's
Yeah.
got a real big.
Is it bigger than the
Yeah, I
But
love
it's
that.
bigger than the babies. So when I
Okay.
got the big one, and then she got hers, yeah, the Lupa Dragon is in that same vein. Yeah, how many you got? You don't have that many babies, do you? Like 2 or 3?
I have maybe like 4.
She's got about 4.
But I've got 3 of the Revolutions.
But she's got 3 Revolutions and I think 1 Dragon.
All right.
You have a dragon? Okay.
You have to post some pictures of those because I have to find them because she's been talking about that for a while, and like she did corner Ryan, and like he thought his life was over or something. But
No, I'm like, I don't think you heard me. Let me say this 3 more times. I need a big watch, sizable, that can still be sized down because I'm probably going to be down to two links on the side.
Her wrist is like,
yeah,
and those may be the ones that you are forced not to remove.
yeah. Because I mean, I know Mary. She, she struggles with that because at 5.5. I mean, I've seen some of her pictures where, like, I'm looking at this, this Herc of Christie's, and like, I think it comes with like 8 on one side, 7 on the other, something like that. I think when she's all done, I think she's only has like maybe 3 and 3 on each side. Like, it is super small.
Yeah. Now hers is smaller than that in some cases. Like on I think it was that one burrito I started. Like I just took all the possible links off, like, and then started from the other direction. Like, how many do we have to add on? Because it's just like between the clasp and the head. I mean, she really doesn't need anything else.
Yeah. You get the micro adjuster and you're about done.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing I think, and this has been something that Christy has talked to Ryan and others about, is putting the higher end movements into some of the women's watches. Like, like when they came out with the R150 and that Pro Diver Diamond with the Stingray straps. That was something that she'd been waiting. I mean, because I've got, I don't know, 6 or 8, or I lost count how many R150s, but there's never been one that's been small enough. Even the 47s are bigger than what she cares for.
Yeah.
Okay. That it just throws her off. So I think the Magnum would be the one that I would have to question the logistics of, can you get enough of the lug tight enough, because you can't really get that secondary movement. I don't think you can get it any smaller. It's really small in there. So to really narrow it up and still have enough like meat to it that it's not like a razor blade, that may be the one that could be tough. But I think you could easily do it in a I think you could probably do a smaller Man of War. You could do a smaller I just had it in my head, Chaos, right? So you could do probably about a 40. I would say, probably about a 44. Like, I don't know if you can really go much. I would say 42 to 44 is probably about the biggest that you're going to be able to translate down. But you should be able to do a Chaos in like a 42, 44. I know there's the Octanes. I don't know if there's one in the 40s. I know there's a Grand Octane, and then there's an Octane. I think that one's around 48, I think. So there's some of them.
Anatomic Magnum.
Yeah, the Anatomic Magnum's not bad. I mean, you can. It's not heavy, so that's what helps. It's still the same size, but the anatomics of it. I mean, it's almost right about half the weight. So I mean, it makes it possible that it's not. I mean, you're not. It's not killing you. I mean,
so
it's going to be big.
So what you're saying is that we need some Magnums in our life. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what you're
That's
saying,
not the
Tony.
like
Tony, whoa.
you say that we need to get
Tony, whoa. I need
because
you. Whoa.
because she can fit. We can size that one down possibly to her size.
He said, "Don't compromise the integrity." And since we're in this together,
yeah, so we need two.
No.
I'm just saying, I need.
We'll see what Gym Watch Girl sends you on June 3rd. I don't mind my husband getting gifts. In this case,
she's secure.
Invicta, I'm secure in my marriage. You can send him whatever you want to send him, honey. And
you're not gonna take offense.
I will not be offended. I will say thank you for taking that off my plate. I will say that I will consider that a personal shopping.
That just means when Shaq starts sending her watches, I can't say nothing. I see how this game goes.
Exactly.
You know.
So now we know Tony's birthday. So when is Simplay's birthday?
I gotta wait. Speaking of revolutions, I gotta wait for another trip around the sun. It was January 7th.
Okay.
Yeah. I get caught up with Christmas, so yeah.
New Year's.
Yeah. But we celebrate all year. Every month's a birthday month.
There you go. Yeah.
And I love the Broncos. That NFL collection is retiring. The smaller what's the not the Pro Divers. Is the Pro Diver collection? The Scuba. That collection, and that was gonna be my next collection. I'm a diehard Broncos fan, and I did finally. It wasn't a grill piece, but it was in my cart for a long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally did that for our anniversary. He gave me the go ahead, but I thought about collecting every NFL watch because I was not born in Mississippi. I was born in Michigan, raised in Mississippi, moved to Atlanta, and then started adulting in Indiana.
Okay.
And now I'm working towards retirement in Florida. So you
didn't do Detroit and you didn't do the Falcons. You waited until the Broncos.
I just, it's something about the Broncos. I just love them. Their teamwork, their spirit. They don't win a lot of games. They take these 10-year blocks, but they work as a team, and there's no one superstar until that Peyton Manning guy came over and tried to take over. But we dealt with that. We put up with that for 3 years and sent that back to Indiana. You would think that would bring us together, but that almost wedged us. It did. I'm a fan of Peyton the man, not Peyton the player. And I didn't want him on my team. I feel like he just changed the whole dynamic. But anyway, so I wasn't I could be a bit of a floater. I did a stint with the Lions. I did a stint with the Bengals.
Okay.
And but
Falcons.
no, I never got on the Falcons bus. I never got on the Falcons bus.
I get it. I mean, we've been here 25 years, and it's tough. I mean,
Well, see, I got to teach y'all about celebrating the home team. See, Indiana, in the early 80s, we didn't have a football team. So we all had to be either, I think it was Bears, Bengals, and Packers is where everybody was going. So when we stole the coach from Baltimore, when we got the coach from Baltimore, we celebrated so hard having a team for the first time that everybody, win or lose, rain, sleet, or snow, we don't care.
Yeah.
It is the home team.
Broncos is my home team.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm claiming. And that's my point. I was born in Mississippi. So for the first 18 years of my life, I could choose whoever I wanted to. And I'm loyal to whoever I choose. Mm-hmm. And right now, I choose the Broncos. And so I wanted to do this NFL collection, but then every time a great deal came up, I felt like I was betraying my team. And I just decided to forego that notion because it wasn't worth. I felt like a traitor. And I would never wear the watches. I would never pull it out.
Well, I would, but because I had to make sure I got the coats first.
Right.
And then well, it's funny because I ordered a Miami Dolphins, and thanks to Vic, somehow I ended up with New York Giants. I don't know what happened. Something happened, so I had to send that one back, and then I was just like, I ended up getting something else, but I was like, you know.
I don't know how, because they're
so speaking of Michigan, for all of us in Michigan.
Okay. Oh,
where are you at?
Michigan Mint.
The Michigan Mint. Where were you in Michigan?
Oh, Detroit. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, I'm hitting the prom, and then my sister, my family's. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see my hand. Yeah, and my family's a little off, close to 8 Mile and a little bit off that area. So, So we do. I still have some Lions memorabilia from those days when they were my home team.
Mm-hmm.
A few years.
Yeah. I remember. So just so I'm right about there. So so south of Lansing, probably an hour from Detroit, and probably about 30 minutes from MIS.
Yes.
Speedway.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. We have to cross through there to get in, and a lot of my co-workers who end up moving and going to the medical centers in that area, they end up taking care of that population there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it. Family. I like family. It all comes back.
Yeah, it does. It's funny, how sometimes how close, like how close paths could have crossed at any one time.
Yeah. Interesting fact, when I was in Atlanta, I used to work with a Kirby dealer, Kirby vacuum dealer, and we traveled all over. I didn't get to leave the office very much, but when I did, I went into the shops and things, and we would send people out all down through Columbus. We would send them down to McDonough,
Jonesboro, or is that?
Well, Jonesboro is still close now. Actually, I did a part-time stint fixing Kirby vacuums in Jonesboro and College Park. So,
women. Yeah, so we lived in Roswell, which is just north of the city.
Yeah,
and we were there for 20. Yeah.
And wow.
And we moved a little bit further north and west, but yeah.
Okay.
All through there.
No problem. I was in Lithonia, and I didn't go. I went into Conyers every now and then, but I didn't go all the way. And then I still got family in Marietta, Kennesaw, Lawrenceville.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, So we'll just cover the whole.
Yeah.
We'll come on down. Now, when our first few months here was the Hurricane Irma, and it was the largest one since Andrew, Category 5 and building, and I think 5 is the largest. Yeah. So we waited and waited, and then we finally packed up, and we were still in boxes because we had just moved here. So we just packed up, we picked the suitcase up, got back in the car, and we drove and stayed with family in McDonough. And but that was a 24-hour drive.
Hurricane escape.
I think we could have just stayed there overnight, pulled on the side of the road somewhere. But we saw some beautiful scenery on the way up that I normally would have just passed through and not paid attention. But
and then we finally get to Atlanta. And then
the hurricane skips Florida and comes to Georgia.
By the time we got back to Florida, our apartment was cool. Nothing out of order. No cracks in the walls. Nothing. Just
trees were down. It looked like it kissed some trees, but
I'm like, man, we should have stayed.
Yeah.
But hey, we got to go to an old school concert for free. So while everybody was down here packing up and panicking, we were watching TLC and who else was it? Color Me Bad and Snap and a bunch of folks.
Yeah, everybody from the 90s until the power went out and the filter was flying around. that hurricane until the hurricane caught up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man.
Well, hey y'all, we've ran over a little bit, and that's all fine. But I mean, I know everybody's it's Sunday, and I don't want to roll up too much of everyone's time. But I do want to say how much I truly appreciate you guys coming on, and it's been a lot of fun, and hope everybody learned something new that we didn't know before, and I know I did. So that's what all this is about.
Yes.
Oh, and Godfather, is it okay? This Friday is going to be on the Watch Corners YouTube at 6 Eastern. So if anybody's looking to, and Trap's on at 5 today. So I don't want to go too much farther because I got to take a break before I jump onto his. So, but absolutely loved it, guys. Really appreciate both of you coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, happy to be here, man.
Sorry.
It's an adventure.
Oh, hey, it's all part of the show. It's all part of the show.
Man.
When you just get up and walk. No, unintentional.
All good. It's all good. But thank you so much, and really appreciate it. And with that, I'll sign out and say until next time.
Thank y'all so much, man.
Thank you.
Thank
all
you.
love.
We appreciate
Thanks, y'all.